I don't see anything. Okay, I see it.
Good morning, St. Kitts Nevis. Good morning, Leeward Islands. Good morning, OECS. Good morning, Caribbean. Hey, good morning to the entire world. And, well, of course, good evening, good night, wherever you are. As I normally say, today is yesterday in some places, and it is also tomorrow in others. And while we're saying good morning, we must say good morning to my co-pilot, my co-host, Cartencia. Good morning, Cartencia. How are you today, my dear?
Good morning. I am trying to be better than yesterday. What about yourself?
Oh, I'm blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks. According to an old friend of mine, I didn't hear my name on the death announcement this morning.
Oh boy. Oh Jesus. No, I'm not going there at all.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy.
And we have to give thanks. So many persons would have woken up this morning and not have made it to now. And I know we did say condolences yesterday to Val Henry and family on the passing of the late Carl V. Springett, fellow broadcaster. And it's really been a shock. And Father Smith, Reverend Smith and Father Smith,
Yeah.
and he would have served in St. Kitts for quite some time. I don't remember if he served in Sandy Point. But welcome to another edition of Island Tea here at WinFM 98.9. And we do thank our sponsors, and we do thank you for tuning in and being with us. Amali has a song called Tension. We got so much things to say right now. So many things happening all over the world and all kind of things.
Yep.
And we have the good doctor coming in at 8:30.
Yeah, she'll be coming in at 8:30. And just to let you know what our topic will be today, it is prescribed for a reason, the importance of medication. So be sure to stay tuned to get the full details of today's topic with Dr. Osborne. Just to remind you, if you wish to call in to bring something present to the fore, our local number 466-0989, in the US 1718-285-6984, or in the UK 0333-440065. Check us out on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, YouTube, or on your FM dial at 98.9.
Cartencia horses are off. We have our first caller.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island Tea. How are you?
Grand Rising, Hortensia and Troy.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Grand Rising.
I'm doing good. Now, yesterday I tried, but something was wrong with your line.
Okay.
Hortensia and Troy. I want to go back to the clip Quinn played last Friday on the closing, where he spoke about this African woman who went through so much torture at the hands of colonization. Now, follow me, guys. I like to bring scripture to our past and our present. Now, if you go to the biblical book, the biblical God who delivered the children of Israel from the hand of Pharaoh, the children of Israel were in enslavement, they were in bondage. And this biblical character, according to the literature, sent Moses to free the people that were enslaved. Now, we know the scripture of all the plagues that the Egyptian went through. The last one was the slaying of the firstborn that actually caused Pharaoh to free the children of Israel. Now, going to the Exodus, when the biblical character parted the ocean and the children went through, the host of Pharaoh followed, and the outcome was that they were drowned. So God, the biblical character, punished the Egyptian for enslaving the children of Israel that God has chosen. Now, this is the God that is yesterday, today, and will be forever. Now, he punished the Egyptians for enslaving the children of Israel. Now, where is this biblical God today? And who is this God that is going to punish colonizers for enslaving Africans? Now, for those who say that the story is symbolic, it is metaphoric, it is not literal, what is our reality as Africans, Cortentia and Troy? Now, we swallowed that story, we accepted that story because we thought, well, it's a people in a time and place. But what is our reality? Are we not in bondage? And what I mean by this is, we are in a system of economics and commerce. Who created that? Because nature gave us all that we want. All that we need was provided before we were formed. Now, when you look at the literature and the writers of the book, in our present day, in all that we are facing, from Venezuela to Nigeria to Iran, the God that is in the scripture, is this God in the scripture any different to the principalities that are running the system today? Make no mistake, guys, what I'm trying to share here is that the gods are walking with us today. They are creating wars, they are planning, and they are strategizing. Because my message to my people, our people, we as a collective is, if God is spirit, then who can say they have seen spirit kill? Because all the acts that were committed in the book was done by man. But because they gave us a deity they refer to as God, being spirit, no one can say that they have seen a spirit kill. But yet this biblical character stretched out his hand in the Old Testament, and then they tell us in the New Testament that his son, Jesus, come not to condemn that era of wickedness, but to come to fulfill it. Now, the story is deep. The story is esoteric. But we have to understand what it means, because both are within man, God and the lower self, which is the devil. But let us go to the Epstein file today. And with all that we are facing with these wars, is it a distraction to keep us away from the very characters, presidents that are involved in the Epstein file? Are they any different to the biblical character, guys? Are you getting what I'm saying, Troy? Crittens, are you following me here?
Yes, we're
We're
listening.
following you, we're listening.
I mean, but look at what we have swallowed. We swallowed a misery given to us by colonization, religion and Christianity, and failed to recognize that our ancestors were in harmony with the elements of nature, earth, air, water, fire, spirit, and the S-U-N, the Son of the Most High, the light of the world. Because they have brought cosmology into ecology and give us an idol they call Jesus. But the story was taken from our Africans. The first civilization of spirit coming into flesh was within the African continent. Everything is symbolic. Now they gave us duality. We know the universe is diverse. We know the planet Earth is diverse. But the nature of the planet is our teacher. When you resonate with the elements, earth, air, water, fire, spirit, guys, and the S-U-N, you're in harmony with the Most High. Now, I'm going to finish now, guys. I shared this with a friend yesterday. The biblical character is so powerful that he could carve 10 commandments on a stone, but leave a guide as how we are to live up to man to write and tell us that this is the holy word of God. Now, why didn't the God, the character in the book, write the word? But he was capable of writing, carving 10 commandments on a stone and leave a benchmark for man to write and claim they were wholly inspired. But we don't even bother to look at the writers of the word. I'll leave it there for our people to ponder on, guys.
Very deep, deep indeed, Cartensia.
Yeah, and I know Journey is on his own journey, and just a lot of things that he brings up sometimes. I guess he's trying to seek clarity because, as he said, a lot of the things in the Bible, and he normally says basically they wrote the Bible, they kept us enslaved, and a lot of things that I don't want to explain it wrong, but excuse me. But I think what he's trying to get us to understand is that we should basically, I think, seek it out for ourselves. And is the Bible really the true book and the book of God, like it says it is? And his thing is, because we know man was given the inspiration from God, man could have twisted the words. And I guess the more he delves into it, it looks twisted. So he's here to defend, and I understand. And I get what he's saying, because most of the persons that I see on social media now, especially in the US, are touting that this war is being created because they're trying to deflect from the Epstein files. And also, I think Rachel Maddow, she mentioned to follow the money and you'll see who's really in charge of the war. So I didn't finish her whole presentation, but a lot's going on, from Israel to Palestine since eons, from Ukraine to Russia. Then we have our own little thing here in the Caribbean. At least 150 or more persons have been killed. We heard the president making fun, saying he messed up our fishing economy or whatever. So, because people are going to be afraid to go out on the water, and by right, that should be their right, because these people have families, wives, children, to come back home to. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Guess the
Good
person showing
morning
to
to
listen.
everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to everybody. And one
morning,
more
sir.
greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, the only Savior of sinners, from their sins and from hell, by the gospel only, through faith only, according to the Bible only, and Jesus Christ, who is the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, I tuned in a bit late, so I only heard part of what Johnny said. Okay? Now, people who don't know better would believe Johnny. And Johnny ain't saying nothing deep. Johnny is saying lies and deceptions of the devil. And the thing is this.
But Greg, Greg, how do you conclude that he's not telling the truth? Because his
Based
view
upon
is
the
different to
Bible.
yours?
No, what he's saying goes contrary to the Bible, which is the truth. You see, Johnny and no one else rose from the grave to conquer that. Only Jesus did that. And Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life, and nobody comes to the Father but by me. Jesus Christ is God, and the Bible said, let God be true, but all men are liars. So anybody who go against the Bible, repeating the lies of Satan, okay?
That is your view.
No. Which I get from the Bible, and which I read in the Bible.
Well,
And
your
nobody
view, your
can deny that
interpretation.
it's not in the Bible. Well, how else to interpret it? How else to interpret it? It could be interpreted one way. You go against the Bible.
But at the end of the day,
A
Greg,
deception.
But remember, Journey says that that Bible was written to control us, even during slavery.
Well, you see, there is a saying, a little knowledge is very dangerous.
So you're
And
trying
it
to.
seems as though not in that journey have, because the Bible,
But Journey once believed in the Bible, Greg. How can you say that?
the Bible says, they came out from among us because they were never of us. Because if there was of us, if there were of us, they would have remained with us.
Okay.
So they came out from among us just to reveal that they would never really were of us. That is of the Christian faith.
Okay.
Let me say this. The history of the Bible for most part is very elementary. Very elementary. In that, we have Dead Sea Scrolls, copies of the Bible in the original. especially of the Old Testament. We have the Septuagint translation of the Old Testament that are over 2,000 years old. That's long before there was America, and and long before the transatlantic says the Bible ain't just come into existence. The mistake that Johnny makes, that so many others make, is that they consider the King James versions to be the Bible. The King James version is only one of many translations of the Bible. The Bible in its originality is well over 2,000 years ago that we have copies of. So it couldn't be the Europeans who wrote it. It was the ancient Jews who wrote the Bible and who spread the word of God and who we get the Bible from. And then from them we translate the Bible into different languages so men could understand in their own language. But the Bible itself, God used the ancient Jews to give us the Bible thousands of years ago. And not only that, it does not even make any sense to say that even if he wants to say that the Europeans wrote it to keep us in slavery, that ain't make no kind of sense. Because why? In the Bible it tells you, if a slave run away from his master, do not return him to his master. It also tells you that if anybody kidnap anybody, the penalty for that is death, which slavery in the transatlantic slave trade and more slavery is based on.
Yeah, but
and not only,
but they kidnapped people and they weren't put to death. They were hailed as good people that brought people for development of the world. I think that's how they looked at them.
Yeah, who you mean? The kidnappers?
Yeah, the slave traders.
Yeah, but that's why I say it ain't make no kind of sense, because if they wrote it to keep black people in slavery, then why put these things in the Bible? Which goes contrary to what they believe and to what they were doing. That if a slave run away, do not return him to his master. Kidnapping is the penalty for kidnapping is death. Not only that, Paul said to the Christians in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, if a chance provides for you to come out of slavery, by all advantage, by all chance, take advantage of it. No matter what form it come in for you to escape slavery, take advantage of it.
Greg,
because
sorry.
Christians were not called to be slaves.
Greg, sorry, I have to intrude. We have to go to some ads.
Okay, let me just quickly
we're
say.
expecting, please, 10 seconds, please. Because the doc is coming in at 8:30.
If Europeans were the one who gave us the Bible to enslave us, it don't make no kind of sense. The ancient Jews, we got it from. Thank you.
All right, Greg. Thanks a lot.
Greg,
thank you for calling in. And we are always going to have that, different interpretations. Your interpretation different to mine. And who says mine is correct?
Boy.
Who says yours is correct?
And this is why I said I don't like to fight religion. I can't wait for the day that Jesus just comes back and just finishes it all and everybody's on the same page. It's just a lot.
I hear you. But let us go to some ads and in preparation for the doc coming in.
Okay.
Found the sound 99.9 winnfm.
Here are your Horsford Value Mart IGA Blue Tag Special.
Running February 19th to March 4th.
Hunt spaghetti sauces are just $5.99. Progressive soups, $13.99. Essential everyday chunk and shredded cheeses, $7.99. La yogurt, $3.39. Blue Bunny ice cream, just $25.99. IGA or essential everyday waffles, $11.99.
Hello, our value deals. IGA and essential everyday honey beer, $19.99. Chef Boyardee canned pasta and microwave pasta, $6.99. IGA and essential everyday canned tuna, $3.49. Langus cranberry and pomegranate juices, $11.99. Soft soap liquid hand soap, $8.99. Irish Spring bar soap, $11.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, hover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might broke up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head
and
with
that's
your
what I
arms.
say all the
Remember,
time.
DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with winnfm.
How are you? And it's just about, well, we're getting an early start, but we'll start anyway because we got a lot to go through. Just about 28 minutes after the hour of, well, 29 minutes now after the hour of 8. And we welcome Dr. Osborne into the studio. Just to remind you, I'm your host. That's Hortensia, for those of you, I know some people still struggle with the name. And today we will be discussing something that affects almost every household, medication. Why it is so important, what are the risks and benefits, and why do so many patients stop taking their medication? Mommy, yeah, I'm calling you out. Once she starts feeling funny, she just stops. Good morning, Doc. Welcome.
Good morning, Hortensia. Good morning, everyone who's listening to us. Thanks for having me again this morning.
Always a pleasure, and you look nice and bright. I'm loving your colors.
Thank you.
Today. So, Doc, let's start simple. Why is medication so important?
Medication is one of the greatest advances in medical and modern medicine, okay? It treats diseases, it prevents complications, reduce suffering, and most importantly, save lives. Think back prior to the days of antibiotics, how much millions of people lost their lives as a result of bacterial infection. So without medication, many of the chronic illnesses we manage today would have led to disability and oftentimes death. Okay. Think about it.
All right. So can you give us some real examples?
We talked about this, I think was last week, diabetes, touch of sugar.
Touch of sugar.
Yes. Take diabetes, for example. If we didn't have the medication like insulin, many persons did not survive soon after they were diagnosed with diabetes. So because of proper treatment today, persons go on to live longer life with less disability, less complications, and they're better off. Think about another common condition like hypertension. We often talk about it because our community is plagued with that condition. We consider it a silent killer, and many times people would not know. And if not managed, persons go on to have stroke, heart attacks, and things like kidney failure. But because of these medications that are widely available here, these things are often prevented.
All right. Some people say, I don't like taking tablets. I just call out my mom. I know she's going to get me, but oh well. Are medications always necessary?
Not all the time, Hortensia. So for those who like to think that we want to give them medication every time, no, it's not always. Not every condition may require some medication. But when a physician prescribes a medication, he or she sincerely believes that it has medical benefits, and the benefits outweighs the risk in this situation. So because we know that medication control disease, prevent organ damage. We don't want our patients to have organ damage. Reduces hospital visits and extend the life expectancy. Reduces complication, expenses for the patient as well too. Because if you go into an organ damage, let's say for example, kidney failure, then it's more costly now to have things like hemodialysis.
All right. So let us talk about, okay, This is the part I think why my mom stopped. Once she starts feeling funny, she just stops. But medication also have side effects. Should people be worried?
All medications have potential side effects. And I want persons to understand this, because if you go, even a common medication like Tylenol, paracetamol, you see a whole list of side effects. Because when clinical studies are being done, it is mandatory that they have to list every side effect or every complaint any of the patients in the study would have said.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that every side effect is going to happen to you and every side effect is going to be disastrous.
Yeah.
We know that, but we carefully want to weigh the risk versus the benefit. For example, we know that things like blood thinners can prevent persons from having clots and prevent you from having a stroke. But we also know that it can increase the bleeding. So we're looking at the benefits versus the risk, and that is why you have to have it prescribed correctly, the correct dosage, and then the individual is monitored to having screening blood tests and being checked up regularly with their healthcare provider.
All right. So we often hear the word is this contradiction?
Contraindication. Oh, well then. Well, maybe you don't often hear that
No.
word. So it means that simply that.
Yeah, what does it mean, please?
Persons would say, I hear this term contraindication, meaning that you're not supposed to take this drug. There are certain drugs, for example, that you do not want to give in certain conditions. Like a pregnant lady may not be able to take all different types of drugs. Certain antibiotics would be contraindicated. So as physicians, we know we cannot prescribe that. For example, a pregnant lady cannot take certain high blood pressure medication also. Certain types of drugs she won't be able to take, like a captopril, a lisinopril. There's certain persons who have kidney failures, they can't take any pain medication like what we call ibuprofen or Motrin because it can worsen the kidney disease. So that is what we call contraindications, and that is where you would not be able to prescribe or you should not prescribe that drug. But most other indications a drug can be placed on board once there are not any direct contraindication to one using that drug. That is why it's also important when you're having this dialogue with the physician to disclose all of your medical history so that everything is cleared, and between you and your physician you can come to the best possible decision in terms of what medications are necessary.
All right, so let's address a big issue, non-compliance.
Well, Hortensia, why I brought this topic because I sit down and talk to patients all the time, and this non-compliance is a real thing. A patient, hypertensive, just Friday, she told me, I don't take my medication. And why you don't take your medication? And a kind of nonchalant kind of dismissive
She mentioned side effects.
Reason. Something I forget. There are different reasons. I don't do this. I don't. And another patient, I said, well, you've got to take these pain meds because your knees are swollen, you have fluid buildup in your knees, you have cysts, you have a torn ligament. She comes back and she says to me, but this was important. She said, well, doc, I didn't take the medication because I don't have the stomach problem. But I said, well, that's why we indicated clearly that you should take it with a meal so that we can kind of decrease the risk of it irritating your stomach. We spoke about risk versus benefit. Yeah. So these are some of the reasons or things that we face on a day-to-day basis as a physician with persons not being compliant, meaning that for many reasons they just stop taking their medication.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Patients, taking medication. So how can non-compliance of medication be reduced?
But a lot of these patients, non-compliance, how can we reduce it? We've got to improve communication. Because a lot of times patients don't understand clearly why they're taking their medication, so lack of knowledge. And you sometimes have to ask the patient, can you repeat what I said so you have that clear understanding? Because patients would just not understand the importance of having a medication. That's one of the reasons for the non-compliance. They forget. You've got to build trust with that patient too and share decision making. Sometimes, for example, let's use high blood pressure. You may have various drugs that you can put on board. You can go through the reason why you're selecting this versus the other and explain some of the side effects of these medications patient and say, based on these two options that I've given you, what do you think? So the patient is a part of the decision making. So you're not just always just handing them a script and say, take this, without them really understanding. And so you want to address side effects very early, Hortensia. If persons are aware that this medication can cause headaches, it can cause some dizziness, they're aware of that. That is why certain medication is prescribed at a particular time of the day too. At nights, because it can cause dizziness, so you want to prescribe it just before bedtime. And you want to simplify the regime. I remember oftentimes when we speak to our patients, persons who are hypertensive, so they have high blood pressure, they're diabetic as well, they may have high cholesterol, so they're on a several number of drugs. So you want to simplify that regime. How can you do that? A lot of times we have these combined medications now. So instead of giving them 3 different medications for their blood pressure, you can give them just 2, or you can give them 1. So you simplify it, because having to take 6 medications daily is not the same as having to take 2. And the number of prescriptions you have to take, drugs that you have to take, increases the non-compliance. You want to also address financial barriers. Try not to put your patient on the most expensive drug. If you have the generic drug, it's the same than a brand name, because a brand name is just being pushed out in the market by a specific company. We have health centers here in our communities that often have drugs that the patients can get for free or at a lower cost. That is also important. So instead of prescribing one that is much more expensive or new on the market, we have other drugs. We want to make sure that we can give clear instructions. Patient, take this. Sometimes patients don't know, when am I going to take it? Before breakfast, after breakfast, what time of the day is best to take this medication? Sometimes we have to write out. We don't have a culture of doing that here, but where I was trained in Cuba, we often write out what we call a method, where you write, take one tablet before breakfast, and we had to write it out clearly. And so the patient had that clear instruction. And you want to get some family support. I oftentimes like to call in family members. No, next time you come here, you bring your mother, or you bring one of your daughters, so I could get that additional support. So you're leveraging the family support to let them know the importance of them taking the medication, why they need to take the medication, and things like that. And persons have to, their technology, set a time on your phone, because patients will tell you, the reason I did not take this medication, I forgot. You want to make sure that they do that. So these are things, you have a time on your phone that you remind you that you need to take your medication. And we as physicians, we have to take a non-judgmental approach. I have to work on that, because my approach is kind of radical. I want to scare you to make sure you take your medication. These are the complications. We have to make sure do it in a non-judgmental way, so that we don't get down too hard on the patient for many reasons.
But do you feel it's judging, or it's just the mere fact that you want your patient to be better and feel better?
We want them to be better, but sometimes the approach, I tell you, I go hard. I say, listen to me, these are the complications, and they open their eyes, because knowledge is power, and you want them to really understand that these are the consequences. And I'm always one of the believer that stay ahead so you don't have to catch up. You know?
Indeed. So, Doc, is it safe to stop medication abruptly?
In many cases, no.
Okay.
Because there's certain type of medication you would have to reduce them before you stop. Okay. There's certain things like certain steroids. You don't want to stop them abruptly. There are certain medication, hypertension medication, you stop, and then your blood pressure goes right back up. So certain heart medication as well, if you stop taking them, it worsens the condition. So you should never try to adjust the medication on your own without consulting with your medical advisor, your healthcare provider. Patients will come to me and say, Doc, I take just one of the tablets, I was supposed to take 2, but I just decided I'm going to take 1. And that's how patients prescribe or do their own medication plan.
Oh boy, but they shouldn't. They should follow what you ask them to do. So, Doc, how has medication changed life expectancy over the years? I know you mentioned it earlier, but it wouldn't hurt to remind them again.
Dramatically.
Yeah.
medications like antibiotics, that was a game changer when we had the penicillin on board. We had millions of people dying from bacterial infection. Medications like cholesterol, because what happens, the cholesterol is elevated, increases your risk of developing heart disease, stroke, and things like that. You want to make sure having your high blood pressure on board, medication on board, because it reduces your high blood pressure, risk of stroke, risk of heart attacks, and things like kidney failure. What about HIV and AIDS medication? We don't often talk about that. The advancement in that, persons are living longer now. I see patients all the time where their viral load is nil or non-detected because of the medication, and they've simplified the medication. That persons used to have to take 3 and 4 pills, they're now just taking 1 pill, and where you have all of the medication combined. That's why we talk about simplifying the regime of the medication, the form in which you take it, and patients are doing well that you would even know that they have this disease, because the viral load for the HIV virus is very low or nil.
Oh, wow.
That's a good thing.
A very good thing. What about folks on insulin, or what is it, metformin? Can you stop those two, or is the same procedure for that?
Well, if you're your doctor and you decide that, for example, there's certain instances where you would have lost some weight, you've changed your diet drastically, and you've done your checks of your blood sugars, and they're all normal for a period of time, and your doctor feels comfortable that you can manage without the medication, that is the only instant. But you've got to be aware, because persons often think, well, they say I have pressure, but my pressure is normal. But they're taking the medication, and I often have to explain to them, the blood pressure is normal because you're on the medication, and the medication is doing its job. And persons sometimes are not making that connection, and so they remove the medication, and the blood sugar goes back up, etc. So if you're going to make a change, and if a change can be made, it would mean that you would have taken control of your dietary lifestyle and change that, your exercising habits, so that your demand for these medication has decreased, your need for these medication have decreased. And in some instances you can. But you cannot put on 20 pounds Cortensia and then say you want to stop taking your blood sugar medication or your high blood pressure medication, because that would not work out well.
All right, thank you for that. We get a lot of calls. Many persons call in here and say, Doc, what about herbs? So what about people who say herbal remedies are safer than prescription medication?
You know, because that's a whole nother specialty on its own, that study of herbs and stuff. Natural doesn't always mean safe. We've got to be careful with that, because a lot of these herbal medications aren't regulated. You don't know how much you're supposed to take. You don't know how you're supposed to take it. And you can have some dangerous interaction with your prescribed drugs. So I would recommend that persons are quite aware of what they're taking and the quantity in which they take them, okay? And so always inform your doctor as well that you're taking such and such herbal supplements, things. So if we know there are any contraindication that one shouldn't be mixed with the other, or they have any cross effects or things like that.
I have a personal experience where, because I take insulin, one time I decided to drink turmeric with black pepper and ginger, and boy, I started one bitter shake and that thing lowered my sugar so fast along with the insulin. I went and researched, and then I see those things shouldn't mix together, so I don't mix anything anymore.
Okay.
That was vicious.
So you need to take your medication as prescribed, and you're correct, because you did your research after the fact, but you should have done that before, especially if you're on medication, long-term medication. It's very important. So constantly, Cortensia, we see patients that self-medicating. We see patients that decide that they don't want to take this drug, so they just decide. And I know it's hard, because when you're taking medications for a long period of time, you become weary, you're frustrated at times. It's like, I've had enough. And sometimes you want to give up and eliminate them. And some patients have decided, I'm not taking this every day. But then we have the effects, the long-term effects. And what happens? The kidney damage comes in, and it comes so slowly in, and then you realize, wow, I have this problem now. So that is why it's important. And if you think that I don't want to take 6 drugs every day, go back to your physician. What are these drugs used for? How can we decrease the number of these medications? Are there any regime where we can put 2 drugs together in one? Lots of medication can be combined now. Or can you increase the dose of one so you can take off the second one? Do you understand? There are ways that you can do this. So instead of having 2 medication, you can have one, but you increase the dose so that it may have the effect that you need. But there are ways of working with these medications. Because if you have a patient that's already non-compliant or don't like to take their medication, why are you going to add a third or fourth medication? So us as physicians, we have to be prepared and well-read as well, and do our research so we could better help our patients.
I like that. So, folks, you heard it here first. So, if you need, the doc is right there, right in the Science Complex over there. So, Doc, if you could give one message to the public about medication, what would it be?
It would be to take your medication as prescribed. Medications have been well studied, Cartensia, and they do this thing called titration and stuff. There's a lot of physiology and pharmacology behind it, where a medication is given in a set quantity, amount. Because so you know they come in doses. You hear how much medication you're taking. I take 50 milligrams of such and such. I take 100 milligrams of such and such. That is why it's important. And the timing in which you take them. I take it every 8 hours because when these drugs were studied, you know that every 8 hours the effect, the life, the span of the drug wears off. So you have to take another dose. So that is why it's important to take it as it is prescribed, and ask questions if you do not understand. I think patients have to ask the questions that are necessary. Why am I taking this drug? What can this drug, how is it going to benefit me? What are some of the side effects that when a patient asks me what are the side effects, I say, let's look them up together. And you see a whole list comes up, and then I have to reassure them that you may not even have any of these side effects.
Our genetics are all different.
Yes, and you have to just mention them. All drug companies have to list out all of the potential side effects, no matter how minimal it is. And you don't want to share medication. So Cartensia don't take up your mother's medication for high blood pressure, for example, and just say, my pressure is high, I'm going to just take one of hers, and that should help me. And if you missed a dose, oftentimes you cannot double up because persons think, I missed the morning dose. So instead of taking one, I'm going to take 2 tablets this evening. You may not want to do that. Do not do that because then you're taking twice as much, and maybe your blood pressure may drop down more quickly, or your blood sugars may fall off. You may not want to do that, okay? And if you have any concerns, always reach out to a healthcare provider, whether a nurse, a family practitioner, anyone who can help you.
But I know most times when you go to the doctors, after they would have done their diagnosis from what you told them, sometimes you just get they just give you the paper and you have to head to the pharmacy, so you don't really get that rapport with the doctor. So as you're saying to the patients now, ask the questions, why are you giving me this?
Yes.
And what are these for?
So in that discussion, in that 20-30 minutes discussion, okay, so it seemed like you have an infection of the throat. Okay. Your tonsils are inflamed, so I think you have a tonsillitis. That should be the dialogue, what I think the diagnosis is. And these antibiotics can work for that. So this is why I'm prescribing you that. That should be the minimum standard, really, just telling the patient. I challenge our nurses all the time because when they're serving meds, I sometimes would say, I am standing there talking to the patient, and they'll come and give them the little cup with something inside it. And I'm saying, nurse, you need to say what you're giving the patient and what is that for. Because then the patients are saying, they gave me a tablet. And I often challenge our patients, you need to ask what this medication is for. You need to ask what this medication is. Because we came from that system where there was not much dialogue, and the physician was lording over everything, and whatever the physician did was correct. That system of that British system.
The hierarchy.
Yes. And so patients did not question, but I said, no, this is your body, this is your right. You have to ask a question. It's not that you're being rude. You're saying, what is this that you're giving me? And I say, we need to say, okay?
But sometimes you're afraid to ask because, look at this face. So when you see me, you'll answer my questions because of the answer you get. It's like, don't ask me nothing. Just take your medication.
No, I take that. I challenge you on that somebody's healthcare provider is going to tell you, don't ask me.
No,
anything.
I said the look that you get.
Oh, the look. Oh,
yeah, I didn't say, no,
oh.
nobody told me that.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, that's why I said, look at this face. So when you see me and I ask a question, you'll know, okay, this face had a discussion. But I mean,
okay,
the look is like, what are you asking me? Anything?
Okay,
just
I
take
got
your
you.
medication.
So that's the non-verbal
exactly.
communication.
So
yeah.
I just think
and persons are intimidated, and so they withhold some
even
of
when
their
they come with an
questions.
injection, like you thinking in mind, what is that? You just get the injection. Nobody say, oh, I given you whatever injection. I don't know injection, so I can't call a name. They don't say.
Yeah, so we have to make sure inform our patients, and that communication is one of the most important tools that we have. The why, the when, and explain to our patients. So I try to do that, and I know that I can improve, and I want our physicians as well to improve, and I want our listening audience and our nation to take their medication as prescribed, because it will save lives and present long-term organ failure and other complications.
Mother, you hear that? As soon as my mother start feeling funny, not that. I ain't taking that no more. I can't keep my head up. I can't sleep. I can't wash. She loves to wash. So she'd be like, I ain't taking that. She's done with that. Troy, any questions for the doctor?
Any comments?
Yes, I saw something strange the other day, Doc. I saw a prescription, and it said, take 1 or 2 tablets by mouth.
So
I found that strange because when I was growing up, I don't remember ever seeing that instruction before. So I'm wondering if that's the new teaching. Why is that necessary?
Okay, because just based on what you're saying, I can draw a conclusion by thinking that we have certain things we call pessaries. They can be inserted in the vagina, they can be inserted in the rectum. You want to make sure that nobody mistakenly think that that little capsule or that little, what we call pessaries, is put inside the mouth, is ingested, and sometimes you have to be very explicit because we are dealing with a community, as the pharmacist would know, with different levels of understanding, different educational levels. So you have to make sure
it's
by
clear.
mouth it is clear. So that's why. I'll give you something. I don't know. It's a little story. I don't know if you'll find it funny, but we're sitting in the clinic. This is years ago. Dr. Wilkerson was here, and we were seeing a patient, and doctor wrote up a prescription, and he said, take this. And the patient, it was supposed to be a rectal suppository to put via the anus. And the patient said, Doc, is this I'm to push up in the anus? The prescription, the paper itself, literally the paper, he thought that's what he was supposed to use. Do you understand?
You insert the prescription as opposed to...
Yes.
Not the actual prescription.
Yes, he said, take this. And so this is what you're going to use.
So the English language.
Yes,
Funny.
and so you've got to be so careful. So we end up having a little chuckle afterwards, but when you think about it, we've got to be really clear so that patients can understand. Because he thought literally that paper was what he was supposed to use.
Any medication for?
I had a sort of funny experience, Doc. Back in 1995, I think, I was in Canada. I worked at Scantel years back in a different life. And in Canada, I had, some kidney stones attacked me. I didn't know then it was kidney stones, and that was the first time it happened. So about 2 o'clock in the morning, my colleagues took me to the hospital. And the doctor, he gave me some dye or something to drink. And he was telling me what's happening, why, and things. And at the end of it, he gave me a tablet about the size of a joint on your finger, and it was shaped like a bullet. So I said, but doc, I can't swallow this. But he indicated, no, it is to be inserted in the rectum. And that was and that was my first experience of it. So I guess what you're saying.
So
now,
then hence you've answered your own question.
Yes.
Why it's important to say by mode.
Exactly.
By mode or rectally or vaginally, etc. You have to be very, very clear now with
I remember as a little kid, one time I took up one of my auntie's pills and I drank it because looking at it, it looked nice, and then when I tasted it, it had a sweet taste. So how important it is, since we're on medication and all of this, how important is it for persons that are on medication to keep them out of the reach of children, especially those that still come in the plastic bags that we get from the health center?
Oh, yes, very, very important, Hortensia. That is paramount. That's why we say you have minor kids, a 3-year-old and so you remember we used to have that medicine cabinet over the bathroom sink. Yes, it's high enough, and certain drugs now are coming in with these caps that are so difficult to uncap, to open, because of that, to prevent them kids from getting access to them very easily. So you have to press the side, and it snips, and it makes it much more difficult, because children will take advantage of that and see somebody put something in their mouth and go and do that. So you keep your medications not just randomly on the table, you keep them away in a safe place from the children, and the drug companies are putting them in these bottles that are much more difficult for a 3-year-old, that they won't be able to access them. But I know in these clinics locally, because it's much easier economically, you have that little small
the Ziploc
that's
container
easy to open. That's easy to open. We have to make sure we don't keep them close to where our minor children can access them.
Well, Doc, it was indeed an quite an insightful discussion. Medication is not just about treating illness, it's about protecting your future. So I see we have a little 2 minutes. Anything you want to chop up? Anything else you want to tell the public?
Well, it's important.
I know we started early.
It's important that we always keep the communication, the doors of communication going in both directions. Many times the communication is poor, and we need to be less hesitant in asking questions. Because we were taught often, that question might be stupid, that question might be simple, and you're afraid to ask that question. So it's important to open that dialogue so that you can be honest with your physician and ask the questions. Why am I taking this? What is the benefit of it? What are some of the risks? And what are the long-term effects of taking these medications? So it's paramount that we have this open dialogue. And it's important when we prescribe medication, most times we'll prefer not to prescribe them, but we know that the individuals need them, and these medications were created to solve a lot of the healthcare problems that we have. So there are benefits to them, and most times the benefit outweighs the risk. Think about how we've come along with chemotherapy drugs. Okay? And persons are going on to live lives after being diagnosed with certain cancer, colorectal cancer, and breast cancer, because of these medication that we have, okay? We're not going to promise you that these medications are not going to have side effects, but we want to ensure that the benefit outweighs the side effect, okay? And most times these drugs may not be forever, it may just be a period of time so that you can get better. And we want our community to be healthy and to live well. So that's what I want to say.
All right. Well, it's always indeed a pleasure. As Doc said, take your medication. It makes you better. Do not stop. If you feel funny, go back to the doctor, okay? Or go to the hospital and ask questions. No question is a stupid question. Doc, thank you as usual. You have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone, and thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
It was indeed a pleasure having you, my first time, Doc. And I really enjoyed it, not because I was a little on the quiet side. I was really enjoying the education.
Okay.
And I do listen when I haven't been here, but it's a different experience.
Okay.
I guess maybe the smile is lighting up the
It's always a pleasure, because our job is to inform and to educate our community so that we can be a better community. Together we can grow and we can learn. All right?
Strangely enough, Doc, since I was about 5, I told myself I wanted to be a doctor. I don't know why, but all through school, I was moving to that path. I did physics, biology, chemistry, and I was successful. But then to go to sixth form, the economic condition didn't allow it. So I said I would work for 2 years and then would accumulate A levels and then go off. I taught for 2 years at Sandy Point High. But I transferred for the telephone company, and the money was basically twice what I was getting as teaching. As a substitute teacher, I was getting...
money sweet, he want the doctor no more.
As a substitute teacher, I was getting $525, I think, 25 or 45. And the monies had just increased in 1980. This is 81 when I went to teach. And 22 years later, I was still in the telephone business. And I sometimes sit down and reflect, how would life have been for me were I to be a doctor? Maybe I might not have been in St. Kitts.
Yeah. You know, you made a good point, and this is just off the side. I had a conversation with my father, and sometimes we think our parents are not really, because they didn't go to university and stuff. But one of the lessons that my father told me is go to school early and get it done quickly.
Yeah.
Why? Because he said you start to work, you start getting a little money, then you want a car, you want to get certain things like that, and you get almost stuck. So you got kind of trapped by the little extra money, and you thought that you were doing well then, you know. And so you got stuck in that thing, and you never moved on. So I remember Daddy said it's best just to go and do it right as early as you can, because
I
you
heard
get
people say that
you
all
get
the
caught up.
Or hear people say that all the time.
So you kind of got distracted
You
because
never
the
know.
salary was good.
Well, you never know. You can still go do it. Just know you have 7 years.
Well,
and,
Dr.
yes.
Mills has a certain kind of flair to it. Dr.
Okay,
Mills,
be
I
proud
know.
of yourself. Okay, Dr. Mills. Okay, Dr. But you do know you can go get a doctorate and be a doctor. It doesn't have to be medically.
Yes.
Okay.
Or simply maybe that wasn't your calling, and your path was redirected. Sometimes, you know, God has called us to do something different,
That
something
is true.
else.
That's most. And sometimes what we love may not necessarily be
What
does
we're
us.
going to be best at.
That's true.
Yes,
Correct,
that
most
is
correct.
important. We have to know that sometimes our paths change because of different reasons.
Yeah.
Because, you know, persons, I have, my partner has a son who went and did a petroleum engineer. And because they calculated, they sat down and said it's going to be pay well. He finished his petroleum engineer, ended up having a job at one point paying him $135,000 a year. And he didn't want to, that wasn't his passion. And now he went back to do a master's because he wants to be in development and different things. So sometimes people's calling and what they ended up loving, persons get diverted in life.
Yeah. It's a different
But I'll
area.
tell you this, Cartencia, I thank the Lord above that He opened some doors for me, because since I was a child, I wanted to be a doctor. And I was very specific. I told I said I wanted to be a surgeon, and I put it out there in the universe. And I remember, this may sound a little bit grossed out to you now, but when I was small, my brothers would catch the lizard and I would operate on them. And I'm not kidding. I would take the little razor and cut down their inside, and I'm looking and I'm exploring, because I always had that curiosity. And look now where I am at. But that's
But you. So that means Dr. Mills over there, her cuts are precise.
Yes, definitely. But that's an important thing you touched there, you know, Doc. As children, somehow they tell us what's inside them, what they want to be.
Yes.
Some
Yeah.
sing, some drum, some
Yeah.
dance. And I think involuntarily they are telling us, I want to be a doctor, like
I
yourself.
want to teach, you see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we as parents, we really should encourage them. I see them running up and down, hey, I want to be an athlete. That's their calling. So we shouldn't beat them and say, stop making your noise and stop this. Support them.
And I would wrap the fowl's leg when the fowl's leg was hurt and put Dettol on it. So I was, yes, I
You're
was
really training, man. That's
I was
good.
already training.
Yeah.
Just the weird things that I wouldn't do now, we did. And I don't have lizards now.
The lizard's coming for you, Duncan.
So have a great day,
You too,
everyone.
Doc.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Doc.
bye-bye.
We appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
And we look forward to having you next week, God's will.
Yep.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hosford's.
This is not a drill. Liat Air's 30-day advance sale is live right now. We're talking prices so low, you'll think we made a mistake. Spoiler alert, we did it. Say hello Barbados, hello St. Lucia, hello Antigua. Book 30 days ahead for ridiculously low fares across our Caribbean network. But hurry, seats are filling up like last roti at lunch fast. Visit www.flyliatair.com or call 1268-713-5428 today. Liat Air, pride of the Caribbean.
Welcome back to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. And yes, you are tuned into WinFM 98.9. It's not a wrong station because you're hearing a different voice. I am Troy Biff Mills. I'm holding it down for the man Q. Hey, Cortencia, you look like we were timed. We have a caller on the line.
Alrighty, so okay, we lost that caller. They can always call back. Someone says the media player on your site is not working. So I guess that's the same complaint from yesterday.
Okay, I'm going to have to address that. Look at that. Thanks for the feedback, caller. And we may think in the studio everything is going well, so we depend on you to say, hey, this is the situation. And we do appreciate that. And, of course, it tells us that you are listening. But quite a very interesting, we have the caller back again, perhaps.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island Tea. Good morning.
Now, quickly, guys. The responder from my comment, he said that if a slave ran away, I want to put it out there to him. My thing is, guys, the biblical God destroyed Pharaoh for enslaving his people. Now, the responder says that if a slave ran away, I can't remember exactly what he said, but if a slave ran away, well, why would a slave have to run away if the children were freed already? But to go beyond that, the book says that if a girl collecting wood or sticks in the woods, and she is raped, the man that raped her can pay her father, and she become his wife. And this was pleasing to the biblical God. Now just imagine a young virgin being raped by collecting sticks in the woods, and a man raped her. And he can pay her father, and she become his wife.
You said this is in the Bible?
It's in the Old Testament, Cortencia.
Okay. I'm not aware. I'm not going to pretend like I know the Bible back to front, so that's why I'm asking the question.
It's okay. Yeah.
All right.
But you see, now, here is it that we have this deity in a book with all these characteristics and all these attributes, but we don't recognize that the writers put those things in there to keep us there.
So you don't believe it was divinely given to the writer by God, and that the writer wrote it word for word, that maybe in writing they may have forgotten a word and they just put in their own thing?
Cortencia, it would go back to what I mentioned earlier. If God is capable of carving 10 commandments on stone, why leave writing a benchmark to govern humanity up to man? This God is so great that he can write on stone.
Yeah.
But Cortencia, the writing of stone, the carving of stone, the 10 Commandments came from our ancestors who carved the pyramid text, the hieroglyphics that were carved in the pyramids. This was done before the Bible. our ancestors carved the hieroglyphics as evidence that they were there before us.
But you said, yeah, these were done before the Bible, but don't you think, as you say, the higher power was always there?
Hortensia, the higher powers was done by those who carved it in stone. I'm saying that the Bible came after the pyramid text. Remember, we're dealing with sacred knowledge of spirit coming into flesh, Hortensia. And when that happened, it happened within the African continent. Spirit descend and through birth become flesh. Spirit goes back to the spiritual realm through death. It is a cycle. And it wasn't one deity that they referred to as God that descended upon the face of the deep. Our ancestors were in resonance and coherence with nature. The elements of life. They recognized that there was a sacred source of where they came from. This energy, consciousness that we refer to as God. Now, when you're going to say that if a young girl is raped in the woods collecting sticks, and she can now become the wife to her rapist, after being traumatized by this man, she can become his wife and displeased to God. But God himself destroys Pharaoh for enslaving his people. That's why I asked the question. If God in the biblical text of the Old Testament put forth his hand then to kill Pharaoh for enslaving the Israelites, his people, is that the same God that created us? Because who is going to kill colonizers who enslaved us?
But yes, we know the colonizers enslaved us, and as one of the commenters said, sometimes me and you with this lovely skin color would have captured and given some of our people to the same colonizers. So we have a part to play in it.
That's why I say the story is us. The story, the text in the book is our reality. Now, as to why we endure what we've been through, maybe it's because, yes, we sold our brothers, the story with Joseph, and we killed our brother Cain and Abel. But when are we going to move out of it? Potential, you mentioned something. You said you're waiting for I think you said you can't wait till the second coming of
Yeah,
Jesus.
because I just want everything sorted out.
Potentia. Now, the book said the truth will set you free. It never said faith will free you. The truth. You have to ask yourself, what are you being freed from? Are you being freed from the misery and understanding the mystery? The mystery that is sacred knowledge, as how we are here today. Sacred knowledge that our ancestors knew. This sacred knowledge. The Europeans polluted it and they flipped the script on us. And they tell us all that was done in this book is what they did to us. And here we are tolerating their injustices by going into a church and they're keeping us there.
But how are we tolerating their injustices, though? We might have to break soon because we're supposed to have an interview, but you can continue until the person calls in.
Potentia, I just want to say quickly, let the respondent Gregory tell us, how did God wipe out Pharaoh for enslaving Egypt, for enslaving the Israelites, but then later on in the book it tells us, slaves, obey your masters. Is the biblical God appreciate slavery? All right.
Thanks a lot, Johnny. That's one of the things, Hortensia. The Bible, the interpretation, the New Testament, the Old Testament. I think in the Old Testament it says, thou shalt not eat anything that doesn't chew the cordon part of the hoof or something like that.
Yeah.
And then in the New Testament, I gather it says once you bless it, you could eat it and things like that.
That's why some people don't eat the little wrong boy, the little piggy. And it's International Canadian Bacon Day actually in Canada today. So,
But and I asked Gregory the question.
But Gregory eats piggy. Yeah, Gregory eats everything. Gregory believes in the blessed and eat it. He'll tell you.
But when it comes to the interpretation, if I have a certain interpretation and you have another interpretation, who says yours is right, or who says mine isn't right?
And this is why I don't fuss. Someone is calling?
No, not as yet. We are monitoring
Okay.
it. We are expecting a call at 9.
Well, it's 16 past, and I was just informed that he's calling, but
I'm not seeing anything.
we're not
Okay.
seeing any.
We're having it. No, he's calling.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, greetings.
Is this Jazik?
Greetings. No.
Okay.
Is this on the ball?
No, sorry,
No,
it's not on the ball. It's
On the ball.
IT.
Well,
We're expecting a call. Yes.
On the ball is tonight at from 7 to 9.
Oh, can I hear the voice?
Yes, he's filling in. He's filling in for Quint. That's normally an island tea with me. Quint is on a little vacation, so.
Good morning, Quint.
So Troy is filling in for Quint.
Quinn, big up yourself. Johnny, big up yourself. But and Mr. Biff.
Yes, sir.
You said something a little earlier when you was talking about when the doctor was giving you she introduction into surgery, you know, when she used to cut up the lizard and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying that the children them usually tell us what they want to be, you know?
Yes, sir.
You see them do. And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. You know what I mean? You see the education system, it is the wrong model we got. You see? Because all it's doing, right, is in trying to like put knowledge into you, put things into you, which in that education really is the process of drawing out what is in you already. You know? That when we are created with what we're supposed to be, you know. You know what I mean? But the system we have is designed to teach us what they want us to be, not for us to be what we want or what we were supposed to be in this life. You see what I say?
Interesting
so I
interpretation.
agree because it says some of us are musicians come here to be musicians, some of us come here to be sports players, some of us come here to be governors, some come, you know what I mean, to be doctors. And if we observe the youth, them like in the play, like from preschool age and all of them things here, we would see all of these things here, you know what I mean, and then would be able to guide the youth them in the line there to really develop the full potential, you know, more than just well, you design a system to just teach them something. You know, 'cause a lot of the time, you teach you things where they ain't interested in. You know, so we go because mom and dad want them pass 29 subjects, they go pass the 29 subjects, but they ain't interested in none of that. You understand? So it's a good point that I make. It's a great implication for the education system and how we should design a system that would help draw out, like really like solve the real, you know, I mean, purpose of education. What education is all about is bringing out what is in you already, because it's a seed, you know, because human being is just like a seed, right? We a seed. You plant a seed, you don't got to add nothing else to the seed. You know what I mean? Everything that can create that tree is already in the seed. You know? So you see how with people, you know, when you see like an egg in a woman's womb, like a fertilized egg in a woman's womb, it has everything in there to make the individually was supposed to be. You know what I mean? But when you ban the system, change up everything. That is the sin. We're born in a system, they ain't care about us, you know. They don't care about what they want to do with us, you know what I mean?
Hello?
Yeah, so that's my little input there, you know what I mean?
This is Troy Biff Mills.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir, for your contributions.
Respect.
You have a good day. So we're still trying to get Jazik, and the gentleman that spoke, he's so correct, because sometimes we tell our parents we want to be things, and some parents will tell their children, no, don't be that, you be this. But we just have to let the model flow. As the doc mentioned, she was slicing up the lizards, and now look, she, as I said, she just might have a precise cut.
We have another
she's
caller.
good. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to say something. In school, we learn. Christopher Columbus come bust us in 1492, 93, around there. I don't think school taught us this, but we later learned that the African Holocaust, the kidnap, traffic, rape, and subsequent enslavement to African people across the Atlantic began around 1509. Look in your Bibles, and you would see that the publication from King James that you now read from is going to tell you 1611 or 1623. Point is, we were already in chains when that book come with the missionaries and the Quakers to tell us how to be good servants. Fast forward to today. The world is at war. And the discussion that we end, let me go back. The world is at war. Sooner or later, we're going to be feeling the full effects of food and energy shortages. Nobody seems to care. The Department of Agriculture, in addressing the monkey problem, now has a new policy. Formerly, they say you bring the monkey tail, you get $75. Now, the biofarms and other individuals pay $200 for a monkey. Now, the government is saying, no, the focus is to improve food production by eliminating these nuisances like monkeys and wild hogs and so that retards food production on the island. So is the purpose of the government taking the monkeys from catchers? Now the government is saying, we don't want no monkey tail no more. If you catch a monkey, you kill it, take out the guts, and bring the whole monkey to them. Hear me quickly. Now when a gunman then go shoot a monkey, he's not just shooting the monkey for the $75, but he is incentivized actually by the monkey itself. He can cook it, he can sell it,
Caller?
he can do whatever he chooses.
Caller?
Because
can I intrude on you a second for want of a better expression, please? We are expecting a call. We are to have an interview. And could we ask you to call back a little later? Because we must conduct this interview. We appreciate your calling, but please call back a little later. All right, thanks a lot. Hortensia, we're making the provisions for Jazik of the Greenhouse Band.
Okay. So callers, please hold all calls until we're done with the interview, and then we will engage you thereafter. Thank you for your cooperations. So we have he's online? Okay. All right. So what we are going to talk about, though, so I hope I'm saying this right. Supposed to say it, I think, with a, how do you say it, with the local colloquial accent? So Balakarn Productions, I hope I said that right. So the Greenhouse Band, Green Energy First Surge. The First Surge is the latest release from the Greenhouse Band. That's an album, a Caribbean reggae collective known for high energy performances, rich musicianship, and deep roots in community and culture. This first wave of the album features 15 original tracks, blending reggae with Caribbean pop and soca influences. Imagine Jamaica meeting Trinidad with a song that is modern, uplifting, and made to move people. Driven by seasoned musicians Jazik, Jarice, Travis, and Vakil, Greenhouse Band delivers feel-good rhythms layered with meaning. While the album stays mostly high energy and dance ready, it also carries messages of peace, love, and unity, staying true to reggae storytelling tradition while crossing comfortably into reggae pop territories there. Okay, so good morning, Jazik. Welcome to Island Tea. Our pleasure having you.
Good morning, everyone. Blessings. Thanks for having me. I always love winnfm, man. Thank you.
Aw, and we love you right back. So tell us a bit about this album, Green Energy First Surge.
I like talking about it. I made my notes. Well, this album, in the community where we play, people are like, oh, you guys don't have any original music. So this is our answer to that question. We can't do original stuff, so took us a few years, but here we are.
Oh, so everything's original?
Yes, everything original.
Okay.
Yeah. Island Tea.
Yeah. So who are some of the writers on this album?
Well, predominantly myself with Vakil, the vocalist, and Travis Booker and drums, and Jerry on bass. You know, we're more than talented and have the skill to put something together. So we're glad to share our talents with St. Kitts and Nevis public and the wider world and Caribbean.
So are these albums out and ready for sale? And if so...
Okay, I forgot my markings.
Okay.
They're going to be on the streaming platform. We launched it on February 25th. Yeah, on February 25th on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon. But we're going to have physical copies here, yes, USB music cards in the middle of March.
Okay.
We're gonna have a launch party and everything, but I didn't want to have a launch party without physical products because going on in the community, everybody like, can I get it? Like they're not into the download thing; they want physical copies.
Yes.
So I really have to serve the public in that aspect.
Okay, so are these physical copies going to be signed?
Yeah, you want them signed? Yeah, we could sign them. Yeah.
Okay.
You get your download card, you stick it to your computer, stick it to your car. Easy to move around. You could put it on your phone, whatever you want to do with it. It's yours.
I know sometimes it's hard being an artist, writing and bringing things into fruition. How hard were the nights when you gentlemen worked together to see this through, and how long did it take before you got everything together on this album? Because I see you have 15 original tracks. How long did it take you?
Well, a few of the songs, you know, like when let me admit that well, some of the stuff I have on this album was stuff that I worked with Masood when he was alive. The material I brought forward.
Okay.
Like we would have started some ideas 10, 15 years ago, and then this is just the right time to do right. You know, a good song, any singer could sing it. So some of the stuff, and let's say stole from Matthew. Some of the stuff we started working on, like, I should put it on this album. So some of the songs might be 20 years or more. Yeah. But it's very different, and you know, we draw inspiration from the community, so we kind of write topics that are relevant to what we're going through here in St. Kitts Nevis and the wider Caribbean.
Okay, which community are you from in Nevis?
Nevis is one community, but I could say Lagos.
Okay. Well, you said you don't want to do the launch without anything. Are there plans? Do you have a location for the launch? Will the launch include a listening party so you could get people's appetites wet in anticipation of the album's launch?
Well, it was launched already, but the physical,
launch. Well, the physical one, yes, because it's been launched since February 25th.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a few spots in St. Kitts and a few spots in Nevis. I'm going to do on both islands.
Okay, we appreciate that.
And I have staging and lighting, so I could set up my own stage and keep my own show. So I have a few locations in Nevis. We have two kind of different markets for the music. I like the expat community to support my music heavily, and the locals as well. So sometimes they mix well together and sometimes they don't. So I'm have two separate launch parties for both these markets.
Okay.
Of course, you're invited.
Oh, thank you. The name of the album, where did it come from?
Nevis. I mean, I love planting.
Okay.
In my backyard, I have avocados, I have guavas, I have chewies, mangoes, sugar apple, everything.
Because I look at the heart.
That feeds me.
Uh-huh.
So when, for instance, when my band come to rehearse, we're feasting on coconut water. That's kind of thing when we come to rehearse.
Oh, okay.
Go in the trees, pick coconut water, drink jelly, practice. Drink some more, practice some more. So that kind of thing. So that's the green energy of the feeding our food and our soul. So we could bring forth.
Okay, because I look at the heart in the hand. I see the energy, the aura from the heart, but then I still see two spinach leaves. So it's funny that you say you garden. That's just how I saw it, huh? Because I have a cartoon in mind.
You're on point as well, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's
and this is actually first surge. So green energy first surge.
Yeah.
Because we have green energy amplified. It's going to come in a few months as well.
Oh, a few months as in how soon?
In 3 months.
Okay. Biff, you know, you can join in and ask Jazzy questions too.
Well, yes, he mentioned something. Some of the tracks include songs from 20 years ago with Masood. And I recall Masood, he always made reference to Bala Khan's studio. I think he loved to record there. And I like the name Bala Khan.
Yeah.
It is real down to earth, real grassroots.
And our thing.
Yes.
Ton Khan.
Actually, how the name came about is like not much people love eating cornmeal.
Yeah.
But Masood and I do.
Okay.
So like, his mom cook it for my mom cook it for myself, and I'm like, oh, that's my favorite meal. I mean, I haven't really eaten it since my mom passed. Like, I refuse to eat cornmeal again. I'm like, well, like I retired it. But the name stuck anyway. So still Bala Khan.
Yeah, I kind of like the name. It brings that grassroots kind of feeling. And how challenging was it to select this song, these songs, from what you would have had with Masood from We Ever Win?
Yeah, very emotional. Well, a lot of this stuff, you know, with Masood, when he was alive, we would sing songs about, you know, love and family. So we had a few on the drawing board, and then I found my vocalist, Becky, the vocalist. He's actually related to Masood, and he looked similar to Masood, same skin complexion and body. And they're like, the Almighty sent me another Masood. It's like,
oh, wow.
And then that was the inspiration. Like when I met him, and I found out who he was, I like, the universe bring everything full circle.
Wow.
And the mission of Masood and I started, like, it's the completion of the journey. The musical journey was from we were young men. Like, I found Becky, and he could execute some of the stuff that I would have started with Masood. It's a song like Dad to the Bone. You see, I mean, well, you haven't have the full product in front of you, but I have a song on the album called Dad to the Bone. It's an answer to love from the mama. Love from mama, we big up the mamas. But and Masood and I both realized I have very few songs about fathers. So then I look into my own life and found, well, my dad, I have two dads, my physical dad and my mom's husband.
Okay.
And they were both pillars and anchors in my life, so I had to give them the full respect and write a song. When Masood and I started it, I finished it, and to the bone. So I should have sent you a copy so I could at least be playing it. Oh my God.
I like that idea because, justifiably so or not, I don't think a lot of people pay homage, pay a lot of tributes to dads. Maybe because we're missing, we're just, in some cases,
in
sperm
some
donors.
homes.
In some homes, we're sperm donors.
Not all.
And so much so that the Mother's Day, it's a big thing, but Father's Day, nobody even remember it. Masood would have made...
You might have 2 to 3 songs that people spin on Father's Day, so I like, so then I wrote Dad to the Bone. So
okay. Masood would have made a transition at some point from the reggae to soca. I think he plays soca and calypso. I know he made finals. I think he may have played first one up in the soca. I'm not certain with the calypso. And I know you, Jazik, you have been responsible for sponsoring Youth Calypso for National Carnival.
I see that here.
How many years? No, I'm not certain. What's any consideration?
Like 30
Sorry?
Like 30 years or so.
Oh.
You said 30 or 13?
30.
Wow. Oh, wow.
That's
3
nearly-
decades.
That's nearly all.
Kudos.
Like, that's nearly all like me, Hortensia.
I will not say anything.
But with that, could you give us an idea in terms of the breakdown, the structure? Do you have any instrumentals? Are the songs all reggae? Do you have some reggae, some classic? Because I know you play a wide, extremely wide variety of music.
Well, let's say, well, I have a singular focus, and that is to win a reggae Grammy.
Oh.
I've been studying for the last 10 years the album that win reggae Grammy, so I've been playing all the politics in the background, reaching out, because you have certain steps you have to take to accomplish this goal. So I've been tagging, so the album is predominantly 99.99% reggae.
Okay.
I love the genre as well. So although I calypso, you don't want to confuse the listener. So I have amplified. This has been the first search. Amplified. I would maybe branch off into other sub-genres, but still the theme is reggae. The main half of the greenhouse sound, the green energy sound is reggae, Caribbean. With a little, let's say, you always try to, like, reggae, soca always try to implement other genres into soca. I'm doing it the other way around. I take reggae and add a little soca to the reggae. So the predominant sound is reggae, but you're sprinkling like soca topics. The beauty about soca is very happy and bouncy and upbeat music. Reggae tends to have political themes and that kind of, calypso have that as well, but soca is more happy. So I say, well, imagine Marshall Montana and Junior Gang. That's the middle ground I want. That's the ground I want to walk on.
Okay.
The topic upbeat. We drinking rum, when we partying with reggae, we drinking rum too. Soca sing about rum and partying. Reggae kind of forget that topic. So I say that's a middle ground that greenhouse could walk in and set a path for themselves that stands out in the musical landscape.
Who are some of your sponsors that would have helped you with this rollout?
Well, I give big thanks to my wife and my bandmates.
Okay.
Everything is pretty much in-house because, like, we are working band. We have the financial resources to do whatever we want to promote ourselves because we have we don't need to lean and beg and borrow. We have a good business.
I like that.
That could finance this and get this. We don't need to go and ask CDC or anything as they did in the past. We pay our taxes, we contribute to the community. Because I know people look at music as maybe it shouldn't be profitable. If you do it right, it will be profitable. It's a good, viable business. And I think I'm bringing myself to the forefront now in the creative industry because I realize people don't understand what can be done. So let me shine a light on what I'm doing so maybe the next generation can understand. If you apply yourself with your talent, you can earn a good living and support your family. So pretty much all my staff, like 75% of the band, like, music is all we do.
Okay. I know sometimes it's said that we don't give Nevis their praise, but you coming out of Nevis, how good does it make you feel that when Nevis gets on the map, St. Kitts ends up coming in thereafter? How good does it make you feel that Nevis is on the map?
I'm going to put a pin in that. I don't have to think it's on Nevis. I just think it's Nevis.
Okay.
Mention told me this.
Okay.
Because there's no separation for me.
Okay, I like that.
I'm always in St. Kitts and I'm always in Nevis. So,
I like that.
No St. Kitts and there's no Nevis. I think it's Nevis. My inspiration comes from my fellow musicians in St. Kitts as well. So there's no separation.
All right. I like that. I like that. You mentioned your hopes is to win a Grammy. Do you have a timeline on that? And how far are you?
My goal is 2027. I would love to be in the audience.
Next year?
Me and my band, I would love to be in the audience, nominated. That's my goal. So you have a few steps you have to take to qualify for Grammy. Like you have to get to sign up to be a Grammy member. And I've been doing all these steps. And with this album in particular, I went out and I went to Jamaica, and I Grammy producers, like for instance, Celia Clevey being the drummer for the team. He played drums on this album. Some of the best bass players who have Grammys on the wall played on this. I asked them for their help. Backup vocalists would have won Grammys before. They sang on this. So I incorporated, and that's a a kind of prerequisite to win a Grammy. Other Grammy people must help you and sign up and vouch for you. So I need a letter of a recommendation from other Grammy members of the Grammy Association. So they would say, well, Jazzy and his team have been full musicians all their life, and they should be Grammy voting members. So that mission, I'm at that stage right now. So we could sign up, so we could just register the songs, register the album, so we could win a Grammy. And the Grammy is not for boastful purpose. It's just a goal I set for myself, rather than, because the great musician before was like, to me, Element music is more than Grammy eligible, like some of the best calypsos ever written. You're gonna be like really good. Mick Stokes, so these music influenced me so much. I love them so much. But the world hasn't recognized those and these guys who show that I know walk on. When I stand on it. So the only logical step is to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
Well, if I fail, I will try again. I will keep trying.
You mentioned there are a few steps for you to get nominated for that Grammy, the road to the Grammy. One, how many steps are there, basically? And two, how far are you along the line? Have you covered, well, I know you mentioned having persons in the Grammy area playing, drumming, etc. But if there are, for example, 13 steps, I don't know. How far along are you?
Well, you can look online and Google the steps, but it's just like 10 steps you have to do. There's certain things, step number one, like signing up and being a Grammy member. And having a performance rights organization represent you, and like things like that. I don't remember every one off the top of my head. I have it like in my studio. I have a picture of a Grammy and the steps that required. And so when I got to work, my focus is this is my end goal, and these are the steps I need to do. So if there comes I'm not doing the steps, I like, well, I need to do this because I need to get to this goal. So it's focus driven like that.
I saw Kesmandi, he just won the Grammys. Do you have any connections to him? So maybe you gentlemen can work together, and as you said, we have a goal. We get this goal completed.
The thing is, you kind of have to pull yourself up to get on a level playing with them, because you don't want to call an artist who's like a level up than you that is kind of refuses you. See, you make up the business.
Okay.
So you got to do your shit first. For lack of a better word. You know notoriety. So when you make a call, people want to work with you because it benefits them. And I think it on a whole, like our music business end, like all the weeds that Element would have chopped down, they go back up. So a lot of stumbling blocks really now to get to that level. So over these years, I'm pretty quiet in the industry in thinking things because it was a journey, and I'm looking to see how was efficient way, because you have to learn something, so information has to be in your head so you could attain this goal. So you have to learn. It takes a lot of years to learn, like production techniques and songwriting skills. All these things come into fruition, and like my background in playing pop music 4 to 5 days a week, you kind of get you see the patterns that great songs from like Michael Jackson and Earth, Wind and Fire. You see, just like our AI kind of gather all the data, then spit out and like, okay, so after a couple of years, you kind of get the patterns and you get better at your craft. But it's been a learning experience. So I think I'm at a point where I master my craft, so I could be better for the public.
So my last question to you. So this album signals that you're ready to be loud and not just be an observer anymore?
Yeah, you could put it like that.
Okay.
I love that. I'm going to use that. Ready to be loud.
You go ahead. Enjoy it.
Before you slip away, Jazzy, you mentioned AI. I know there seems to be some discussion about the acceptance of AI when it comes to, one, writing lyrics for songs, and two, actually producing songs themselves. What are your views on the use of AI for whether soca, calypso, reggae, what have you?
Well, for the last 3 years, when I'm working with the junior calypsonians, the parents will send me like AI songs, and maybe reproduce for their children. So it's been going on for a while now. So I've been seeing it gradually creeping into the calypso thing. But AI haven't been fed on enough calypso or reggae music for that matter to be good at it. So it's like the term AI slap is perfect for the things I've been hearing coming from AI. And what I think AI is going to do, in my opinion, is like you really got to be good at the craft. Mm-hmm. It's a really good tool. Like somebody who's going to take shortcuts, the AI is going to replace them. So you actually going to make somebody like myself who play live music more valuable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my take on it. I could be wrong.
That sounds reasonable. I think it's going to get more a part of our lives, whether we like it or not, and it's something we just have to accept. We have to get with the times, so to speak. Yeah. And I don't use AI at the moment for whatever reason. It's not that I like or don't like.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah, I've never sat. Well, yeah, you're right. Because when you Google it, it tells you. No, I don't deliberately go to say I'm going to use AI. But when you're Googling anything, no, what is this? What is the definition?
Yeah, you see
it
AI
gives you
an
AI interpretation.
So he's correct.
So I have to take back that.
Yeah, I asked AI to give me some bullet points to the meeting so I could send a message. It helps. I'm not a really good public speaker. I'm working on it. So I asked AI for help so I get my thoughts and get the information to the general public what I need to get. So like the album is on streaming platforms, stay on message.
Okay. You wanna mention the streaming platforms that they're on so that they can stream until we get the release party with the physical albums?
Yeah, every single one.
Okay.
Once it's streaming, every single one, except YouTube. I'm working on a YouTube video.
Okay.
For tomorrow, so I could like snippets of the songs and maybe not the full album on YouTube, so you could go on YouTube and check it out.
So tomorrow, you said, because we're gonna be looking out tomorrow to see this thing,
I'm producing this product tomorrow. I'm gonna have a film shoot and like a proper.
Oh, so it's not gonna be on YouTube tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
I'm
okay.
on my YouTube video tomorrow. In a few days after that, I will have a product on YouTube, so you can just go.
Okay, I just don't want anybody go looking and then got to call you and tell you they don't see nothing. All right. Well, Jazik, it wasn't. You were about to say something. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. Continue.
Okay, I was just about to say thank you for coming and letting us know of your newest album and what is to come. So we have First Surge and then we have First Amplified. That's almost here. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Amplify is in the can already. It's like it's finished. But I'm roll out the releases.
Okay.
Like, so that's the plan. So I have a marketing strategy for this product. So the artwork and the songs and everything that are tied into when you see the video, everything going to tie into one theme. Like that's how it's done, and they level up to what we do. So I'm trying my best to make it good, and so the people appreciate the product I do for them.
Is there a number, Jazzy?
I'm trying to get my dialect in with my proper English, so forgive me.
You did an excellent job,
exactly.
actually.
See me struggling to say Balakan. You did excellent.
But is there a number people can call for whatever reason if they want any information?
Booking, etc.
Yeah, you can just go to greenhouseband.com. Greenhouseband, you just put Google greenhouseband.com. You could stream the music from there. The thing is, you could buy directly from us. If you click on buy from the band, we get a lot more money that way than streaming. The stream is like 0.01 cent. But if you buy the album, you can buy it directly from Greenhouse Band website. You can stream from the website as well. And we actually, it's better for us if you purchase it straight from the website. We appreciate that. So.
All right.
Well, Jazzy, congratulations on this project. It sounds exciting, and I'm certain the listeners, they're going to be supporting you, a local man, a grassroots man, very popular man. And really appreciate you continuing to contribute.
You could come to Reggae Beach on Friday night and hear us play the songs them live. We play at Park Hyatt on Saturdays, and Reggae Beach on Friday. If you want to hear it, because when we execute the song them live, it's so much more powerful, and you're not going to hear it sing it the same twice. The album, perfect for that. If you want to hear the find nuances what we left off the recording. Come here at Reggae Beach. Book a laugh tonight. It'll be amazing. Highly recommend it. Masha and the two big up my Reggae Beach crew and my Park Hyatt crew. We love playing these stations.
Well,
a
question just pop up. There seems to be a modern trend now of artists putting their songs in the producing their songs in the karaoke version. Do you have any plans for that?
That's a good idea. I don't see why not.
Okay.
When the inside of you, the first like Dance Reggae Woman, I've been promoting it on social media. Easy to learn, when we play, people immediately sing it back to us. So I see perfect karaoke song. Dance Reggae Woman.
Okay. Well, congratulations again on the project and the best wishes. And we're always here for you. And thank you for considering WinFM breaking this information. We really appreciate it.
I was there at the beginning of WinFM, so I really love WinFM.
Oh, thank you. And see you at the Grammys next year. I'm going to help you put that out in the universe.
Yeah, I got my fruit already. That's how,
Shucks, I can't wait to see y'all.
I'm in my clients already. That's a target.
What? That's nice.
And you're not like aiming for the stars, it's more like aiming for the clouds.
I see that.
More the clouds, not the stars.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you once again for coming and speaking to us and informing us. And we look forward to the release party and the physical album when you get it. And congratulations on all your achievements and your future ones.
We're going to go and take a break, Hortensia. Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Always.
We have to go and pay some bills before we come back and wrap up.
All right, no problem.
Stick and stay. Don't go away, folks.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
From February 1st to February 28th, the TDC Home and Building Depots are offering 3 products for its 2 products of the month promotion. Yes, we know, it's unbeatable. Also
yeah,
on sale,
but that ad that we play now,
2110 Megatank printer with USB printing capabilities.
I think that should come out because they say from
and
the
multi-page
whatever to the
printing
28.
Originally priced at $1,240, now $930. Save $310. Available at the TDC Home and Building Depots on the Frigate Bay Road in St. Kitts and Pittys Industrial Estate in Nevis.
Hortensia, time flies, and a wonderful production there by Jazzy. Great idea. I love it. And he is also always trying to reach out. And long before I knew him, there was the name Jazzy since I was a small boy. And I had the privilege of seeing him perform once or twice. And I perhaps have to make my way over for his Friday night, Saturday night gig. And he does an excellent job. He really, really extremely loves the music.
Trust me. If I don't go to Turtle Beach, I get the free concert because my husband drives taxi. So sometimes we have to go pick up guests. So we're waiting on the pair, and I'm getting all the vibes. So yes, I do get a freebie now and then when I'm not actually at the establishment. So yeah, listen, we have so much talent in the Federation. So much. So folks, please go out right now on the streaming platforms and support the Greenhouse Band.
We have a caller.
Green Energy First Search. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Yes, hello, it's me again.
Hi, Greg.
Yes, hi, Katens again. Well, you made the place start working good again for some time now, so that's good.
Thank you.
Yes. To Biff.
Yes, sir.
I see that you completely disagreed with Johnny and you completely rebutted him. That I am correct?
Not necessarily, because I ask questions doesn't necessarily mean I agree or not agree. I am not one to just sit down and accept.
No, I was trying to make a point. Because you keep on saying.
But Greg,
it
sorry,
doesn't matter
we
how
have
one interprets.
we have 7 minutes, so you're only going to have about.
Yes.
Sorry, we have
3
3 minutes,
minutes.
so you're only going to have about 30 seconds.
Yes, right. Yes. So let me quickly say. No, I was just trying to make a point because you keep on saying, oh, it's just how a person interprets the scripture. Well, if that go for scripture, it could go for anything because that means I'm free to interpret you the way I want to.
Exactly, nothing is wrong with that.
No, something is wrong with that because we did not teach children in school that when it comes to comprehension. You see, the point is context is what matters. Words have meanings.
Correct.
We can't interpret any kind of how. We have to take context as the king in consideration as how to we interpret something. There's a lot more wanted to say, but I will settle for now. God spare life another time.
Before you run off, though,
yes,
you and I might be listening the same song, but we're hearing different things. And I'm not talking about the frequency in hearing. Something in this song, maybe a steel band in the background might be playing that you may not pick up, but I may. And
right.
And I am going to use this example. Some years ago, I heard that Elimat went to some band rehearsal, and the keyboardist was sick or something to that effect. Good morning, Elimat. How are you doing, sir? And they asked him to play. And when he was playing him, they're telling him, but hold on, that is not in the song. By saying, no, but that is what I'm hearing. So those are the things in life.
Matters. Yeah, but context matters because when we're teaching kids in school for doing comprehension, we make them correct or wrong, depends on
your interpretation.
Whatever, based upon the context.
Based on your interpretation. Suppose they're seeing and feeling something. Suppose they're reading a little deeper.
But do we really tell them, do we really mark them on their perception?
No, we mark them on our perception.
Exactly.
On what we expect them to say.
Exactly what we expect, because according to the curriculum, it has to be that way.
We have 1 minute, Greg, so thanks a lot for calling.
Yeah, but context is what matters.
Okay, we appreciate that. Cartensia, time flies. Wow. It seemed like just about 15 minutes ago we were in here setting up to have the show.
Yeah, well.
Now we have just 10 minutes, and you're not going to hear...
10 minutes? Not 10 minutes?
10 seconds, and you're not going to be here with me tomorrow, God's fear, so...
And Thursday.
You're going to throw me in on the deep end. So
you'll do fine. I'll be back on Friday.
So you have to say all your goodbyes now to last for the next 2 days.
Folks, I'll be back. We're not deserting you. Quinn's on vacation. I'm off otherwise. And, well, you got the lovely co-host here, Biff Mills. He's going to hold it down for us for the next 2 days, and I'll be back with him on Friday. God spare. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your contribution. Sorry, folks, we can't take more calls. We don't have time. Time is totally out. So for persons that we ask to call back, maybe the conversation can continue tomorrow with Biff.
Yes, I thank you for listening, and please be positive in your thoughts, words, and action. See you tomorrow, Godspeed.
Earthquake call and say, hello, Miss Lee. Yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors, in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Transform your kitchen with the Whirlpool 36-inch French door refrigerator. 25 cubic feet of smart storage, filtered water, and dual ice makers. It's wide, it's tall, it's huge. Save a massive $3,660. This refrigerator was $14,190. Now only $10,530. Offer runs from February 1st to February 28, 2026. Don't miss out. Available only at the TDC Home and Building Depots at Frigate Bay Road, St. Kitts, and Pinnis Industrial Estate, Nevis.
Here are your Horsford Value Mart IGA Blue Tag